Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in tonight for a special episode of In The Huddle, a never done before episode of In The Huddle, and that is NFL Player Awards, but we call it the In The Huddle Awards, where we left it up to you guys, the fans and the listeners, to vote on the players and coaches that you thought were worthy of winning those awards, and we left it up to you guys, and we're here to break that down. But before we get to that, per usual, actually I shouldn't say per usual, I should say per the old days, the real Lil and Kenny C are taking over the show today to host the show. Our other two co-hosts unfortunately canceled pretty last minute, but hey, Lil, like I told you before the show, bro, we've been doing this since 2018, 2019. We started this damn thing off, and we're gonna start this show off with just you and I. How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I can't complain at all. This is a episode that is brand new. We're going to give our awards, our In The Huddle Awards for the NFL season. A lot of talent this year that was displayed throughout the whole year. We got to give credit where credit is due. We're going to do that. And I hopefully the response that our audience gives is good, that we can make this an annual thing around this time. And we also got the Super Bowl on Sunday, bro. So, you know, I'm already planning ahead for that day. I got to figure out how I'm going to be able to go about that day in the era of COVID. We all know we can't have parties and a lot of people over at the house. So I got to figure out the adjustments on how I'm going to enjoy watching Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes go at it on Sunday.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a hell of a battle, man. And I'm looking forward to kicking this thing off. So Lil will take it away with the first award, Comeback Player of the Year. The nominees for that were Alex Smith. In his 8 games, he had a 66.7 completion percentage, 1,582 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Next was Big Ben Roethlisberger, 15 games played, 65.6 completion percentage, 3,803 yards, 33 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Rob Gronkowski, 45 catches, 623 yards, 7 touchdowns. Aldon Smith, 16 games, 5 sacks, 31 solo tackles. And last but not least, Cam Newton, 15 games played, 65.8 completion percentage, 2,657 yards, 8 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Leo, we're going to give who we thought should win this award first before we announce the winner. Who you got?
Comeback Player of the Year, Kenny C. Wow. I think that this is a no-brainer for me, honestly. Out of all the ones that we have here, you know, on the books, I say this is the easiest one. I got to go with Alex Smith. A guy went from almost losing his life. And I just saw the documentary the other day, that 30 for 30 on Alex Smith with the surgery and the recovery after the surgery. And it looked really bad. That leg looked really bad. And to see him not only able to just get on a roster, but actually lead that team into victories. And, you know, we all know that brother is a winner. He may not be the talented cat that is like a Patrick Mahomes or a Tom Brady. But one thing for sure is that brother is a proven winner, and all he do is win no matter what, if you know the song that I'm referring to here. So I got to go with Alex Smith. He's my Comeback Player of the Year.
Oh, yeah, man. Easy money. You summed it up perfectly. Guy that almost lost his life. Nobody thought would see the football field again. Ends up making it back to the field, like you said, had an impact on the field and actually made an impact on his team and its success in making the playoffs and getting that playoff berth. Got to be Alex Smith. And our Huddle fans decided that it was almost unanimous with an 80% vote. Alex Smith is, in fact, the Comeback Player of the Year.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Alex Smith. Well deserved, my brother. Well deserved. The next one that we have on our list as we move down the list here, ladies and gentlemen, we are just getting started. We got so much more. So sit back in the door. Let's get it. The next one that we have right now on our list is we got Offensive Rookie of the Year, and our nominees are Justin Jefferson and Justin Herbert. Kenny C, I want to know who you think is Offensive Rookie of the Year, who should be Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Damn, man, this one is tough because both of these fellas balled out, and respect given to both of them. But I'm going to have to go with my guy, Justin Herbert. A guy that broke virtually every massive passing record that a rookie can have. Broke the touchdown record, broke the passing yards record, and the most completions record. And the reason why I'm giving this guy the award is because from the time he came in an emergency situation with Tyrod Taylor going down, he was told moments before, playing one of the, if not the hardest team to play in the league, in the Kansas City Chiefs, that, hey, fella, I hope you're mentally prepared because you got to get in this game. You got to start for us. And he almost led them to a damn victory. They were almost victorious in a hell of a game. And from there, the guy showed poise in the pocket, shows he has a hell of an arm, and shows he can make the throws that he needs to make. And while the team as a whole wasn't successful, he damn sure was successful. And that's my guy for Rookie of the Year. Offensive.
I tell you one thing, man. Justin Herbert is my guy. I got to give Justin Herbert all the credit in the world for the spectacular season he had. And I can't wait to see him next year. Obviously, they got a new coach, so we'll see how that helps him going forward. But I got to go with Justin Jefferson here. I have to. Simply because when I look at it, Justin Jefferson had lofty expectations because they traded away Stephon Diggs. And he was asked to do more right off the bat. And not only did he did what was asked of him, everybody was like, all right, Justin Jefferson, maybe he'll give you some of that value back. Maybe not all, but some. He did more than that. He did more than what Diggs did for the Vikings last year. 1,400 and I believe 32 yards. I mean, he broke records. That no rookie has ever done that before. And just having to deal with that expectations and delivering. Now, Justin Herbert, on the other hand, we didn't know when we was going to see Justin Herbert. We didn't know if he was going to be a year away, if he was going to come through the middle of the year. But with Justin Jefferson, we knew he had to deliver.
Those are big shoes to fill.
Those are big shoes to fill. And my brother must have been Shaq because he was wearing a daggone size 14 because he filled them shoes correctly.
And who was our winner, Leo?
And our winner, drum roll please, is Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson with 48% of the votes. It was a close one. It was a close one. It was a close one right there. I could tell you that. It was a close one based on the votes.
Nice. And for the next one, we'll run with the rookie trend here. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Our nominees for this award were Chase Young, 32 solo tackles, 7.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles. Patrick Queen, 66 solo tackles, 3 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and an interception. Antoine Winfield Jr., 64 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 6 passes defended. And lastly, Jeremy Chin, 68 solo tackles, 2 forced fumbles, 1 interception, 5 passes defended. Who you got, Leo?
Defensive Rookie of the Year, I got to go with my guy, Antoine Winfield Jr. And let me shout out Chase Young. I honestly think he's going to win this award because he's the main name. He's the brand name that we all know for good reasoning. The brother is talented, had a hell of a year, and his character is just mind-boggling. His character. The brother is a good dude. You know, that's a guy that you would love to have in your locker room. So I just want to shout him out. But I'm going to go with my guy from Tampa Bay who will be playing in the Super Bowl tomorrow, Antoine Winfield Jr. I mean, he had the majority. He played since day one. And we all knew when he was drafted, we all knew he was going to start. Now, it was all about fulfilling those expectations. And he did. You know, he played, I believe he played all 16 games. And he recorded an interception, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 3 sacks, 64 solo tackles, 4 quarterback hits. Bottom line, the brother is flying to the ball and making plays. So I have to give him credit for that as well. And one more stat here real quickly. Just 4 defensive rookies in the entire league had an overall grade above 60.8 for Pro Football Focus. And Winfield and Chase Young, it makes 2 out of those 4 guys. But Chase Young only played 321 snaps. Antoine Winfield played more. So he's my defensive rookie of the year.
Nice. That's definitely a very fair nod to give. All 4 of these fellas had an outstanding rookie year on defense. And I'm going to have to give it to Chase Young, who, like you said, most likely is going to get it. And the reason is I mean, for your head coach, Ron Rivera, seasoned vet in this league, to give you a rookie captaincy on that defense, I mean, that's a pretty prominent thing to have as a player. And to show the maturity that Chase Young has and the leadership that Chase Young has as a damn rookie, and then show great success on the field in leading his team on defense, he made them, that defensive line, one of the most havoc-wreaking defensive lines in football this season. And for that reason, I'm going to have to give it to that young man. And the huddle voters, they came out and said it was Chase Young. According to them, 78.49% said it was Young from Ohio State.
Yes, sir. Well expected. I definitely expected that, and congratulations to my brother out there, Chase Young, for a great, spectacular year. The next award that we have here on our list is Offensive Player of the Year, and we have a lot of nominees, including Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, and Kenny C's boy, Devontae Adams.
Yes,
Kenny
sir.
C, talk to me. Who should be the Offensive Player of the Year?
Oh, man. Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, it's hard to pick because there's a lot of good names, but to me at least, this has got to be a no-brainer, and that's King Henry, man. King Henry, if he's not winning MVP, which he probably won't because no running back has since AP's in 2012, quarterback-dominated award, we all know that. Offensive Player of the Year, you got to give it to that young man, Henry. 16 games, 378 carries, rumbled for 2,000 plus on the ground, 17 touchdowns, I believe he had. Or it could have an error here on the stat sheet. There's always errors that could come up. But the stat that comes out to me, 126.7 was his average yards per game. This man was unstoppable from making grown men look like little boys. We all know, we all saw that play. Josh Norman getting stiff-armed to the damn turf like he was a rag doll. Henry was the heart and soul of this Titans team, and he's my guy.
All them guys that Derrick Henry stiffed on and was a victim of Derrick Henry's big stiff arm needs to be compensated with some money because they surely looked embarrassed. They got to sue for what's that word that I'm thinking of? Sue for. Come on, it's not clicking on my head.
I'm trying to think.
Come on. Sue for something.
Liability.
Pain and suffering. Pain and suffering. There you go. They need to sue for that because they made Josh Norman and a lot of these guys look silly out there. Derrick Henry is a beast. And I'm going to agree with you, Kenny. See, I think it is Derrick Henry. He's fresh over a 2,000-yard season, the 8th time in NFL history by a running back. And since entering the league in 2016, Henry has compiled, 4,994 yards after contact. In 2020, Henry had runs of 40-plus yards and led the league in 20-plus yards per run with 16 of that. And he also had the highlights, that could have made his case for MVP. The what's your Heisman MVP type of highlight? You don't know that highlight that he had against the Texans, that overtime run that was like 97 yards, 98 yards, and he had that another run like that as well against the Ravens. So he's just a bulldozer, and the fact that he carried on from the year that he had previous, when he had that 5-game stretch to end that year, and to bring it into this year and build on to that is very impressive. I like Derrick Henry for this category. And
topped it too with the 2,000 plus yards. Phenomenal season, and our huddle voters are right on board with a 68.75%. Pick Derrick Henry as the Offensive Player of the Year. Our next category here is Defensive Player of the Year. And the nominees for that are Aaron Donald, 16 games, 4 forced fumbles, 13 and a half sacks. TJ Watt, 15 games, 2 forced fumbles, 15 sacks. Myles Garrett, 14 games, 4 forced fumbles, 12 sacks. And lastly, Xavier Howard, 16 games, 10 interceptions, 20 passes defended, 40 solo tackles. Who you got, Leo?
Wow, this is a tough one. This is a tough one right here, but I'm going to go with TJ Watt. I'm going to go with TJ Watt because I know the Steelers season didn't end great at all. The media outlets and the media, social media, should I say, not the media outlets, the social media is having a great time clowning the Steelers for what happened against the Browns in that wild card playoff match, and that's going to carry with them to the next year. So good luck with that, Steelers. Good luck. We feel your pain, but you deserved it. But earlier in that year, when they were undefeated, their defense was a problem. Their defensive line was a problem. And part of that problem was TJ Watt, being able to get to the quarterback and create havoc at the line of scrimmage. So I got to give it to TJ Watt, man. I really do. This is a close one, but I'll take TJ Watt.
I'm on board with you, man. I mean, this young kid bringing the pressure that he brings on his defensive line and making it that much better. Another guy that you got to worry about on a star-studded pass rush. Just exceeded last year's statistics with the 15 sacks, and he's growing to become like his brother JJ, and could be even better. I mean, he's a beast, so I'm gonna have to go with TJ as well. And our huddle viewers said that it was TJ Watt. 44.44% picked him as the defensive player of the year.
Next one that we have here, ladies and gentlemen, we are flying through these things like an airplane in the sky. Coach of the year.
Oh, baby.
Our nominees are Kevin Stefanski, Brian Flores, Sean McDermott, and we also have, those are our nominees. Those are our nominees right there. Those are three. It's only three guys. This was the year of coaching, so I had to pause for a second to say, am I missing somebody? Because there was a lot of great coaches this year. So those are our three guys. Coaching.
I'm going to have to go with a guy who you, me, Zach, and Cam picked weeks and weeks ago in the season, middle of this season. Brian Flores, things that he's done with a team that was supposed to be in an alleged, quote, rebuild, and made them a on-the-verge playoff team. And on all cylinders, defense was outstanding. Offense with Ryan Fitzpatrick coming up big and utilizing what they had around him. And obviously the struggles with Tua coming in and out. But nonetheless, Flores has elevated his entire team and exceeded expectations. And for that reason, I mean, got to give the nod to the other two coaches. McDermott and Stefanski did a lot in their own right. So all these awards are hard to pick one guy, but I'm going to have to go with Flores.
The thing about Flores, man, first of all, he's a great coach. Hell of a coach. Shout out to my Brooklyn guy, man. Shout out to my Brooklyn guy from Brownsville. So, me and that brother have a connection because he's from Brooklyn, not too far from me. But I didn't like the way how the Dolphins season ended. Say what you want. I know a lot of people like Brian Flores' style to take out Tua when he's struggling and put Ryan Fitzpatrick in. But honestly, I don't think Ryan Fitzpatrick should have been taken out because they were winning at that time and they started sputtering towards the end and they didn't make the playoffs. So I thought that little sputter at the end cost him the award for me. I'm going to go Kevin Stefanski here. I think he should be head coach of the year. The Browns hadn't made the playoffs in over almost 2 decades, and they made it this year. Not only made it, they basically beat the Steelers behind to go on and play the Kansas City Chiefs tough. Should have won that game, possibly, if you think about all the turnovers that happened at the end that cost them that game. I was very impressed. I thought Baker Mayfield looked more comfortable this year. Kevin Stefanski called the game to open up to Baker Mayfield, the short routes, get the ball out on slant routes to Jarvis Landry. There we go. Get the ball out and run the football. That was the most important thing as well. They ran the football. Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, make the game more easier for your quarterback. I love what Kevin Stefanski did this year. Outside of what he did against the Jets, I thought that was a mess. But other than that blemish, I have to say it's Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, that would have been my next pick. Just based off of the premise of what he did with Baker. I mean, a guy that everybody was scrutinizing, in his first 3 years, obviously his rookie season when he came in, he looked promising, but then he had the sophomore slump, and a lot of people were questioning his ability. Is this guy making too many commercials and now focuses on football? And Stefanski came in and showed all the haters up and really developed Baker and played to his skill set, like you said. the entire season, that would have been my
And,
second guy.
and he
And Leo,
made me. And he
yeah,
made me a Baker
true.
Mayfield believer,
He made
which
you a
was
believer.
everybody that watched this show know that was probably the least thing that could ever happen was me saying I like Baker Mayfield's heart and I like what he did in that playoff game, and I'm excited to see what he does next year.
And what did our voters say, Leo? Who is the winner of this award?
And our voters disagreed with me and agreed with Kenny C and gave the award to Coach Brian Flores with 38% of the votes. Very close. This was a very close one, and Kevin Stefanski came in second place. Just want to highlight that as well. So it was a close one, but Brian Flores is our head coach of the year.
Nice. And the next award that we have on here is the MVP of the league. Leo, our three candidates for the award were Aaron Rodgers, 70.7 completion percentage, 4,299 yards, 48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Patty Mahomes, 66.3 completion percentage, 4,740 yards, 38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. And Josh Allen, 69.2% completion percentage, 4,544 yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 picks. Leo, who's your MVP?
I'm going to make you happy, Kenny C. I'm going to make you a happy man tonight. I'm going to go with Aaron Rodgers here. You know, look, when you think about Aaron Rodgers in the year that he had, it was spectacular. A guy that I didn't believe was going to have a great year. I thought that, you know, what I saw last year from the Packers was they lost 3 games, made it to the NFC Championship game, and got slaughtered by the 49ers. And I thought that the schedule is what got them there, taking advantage of an easy schedule. So I wasn't a believer. And Aaron Rodgers was like, boy, shut your mouth. He came this year and he balled out, bro. I can't say it from week one. From week one, he set the tone with that game that he had against the Vikings, just throwing that football field all up and down the field. Devontae Adams, he was in and out of the lineup. And, you know, I can't not give it to Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, unfortunately, they wasn't able to cap that off with a visit to the Super Bowl. But nevertheless, he's the MVP for me.
Yeah, man, right aboard with you. I mean, I could go back to my Twitter, man, in April after we dogged him in the draft, not getting a weapon, getting his successor, him sipping that scotch after he saw what happened on the draft board. I said it, man. I had a feeling he was going to be fueled, and he friggin' did it, man. He had an outstanding year. Like you said, set the tone from game one and never let his foot off the gas. Had probably, to me, in all my years of watching him, his best season since he won the award in 2014 or 2011, and just really, really wowed me for a 37-year-old guy to put up the stats that he did and take the leadership that he had with that second-year squad as a whole in that LaFleur system and really excel in it. And our Huddle viewers, our Huddle listeners, our Huddle followers said the same thing about Rodgers winning the award with a 72.22% victory.
And another thing, too, about Aaron Rodgers this year that I noticed is that I think that he bought in. You know, we know how I feel about Aaron Rodgers in the past. I think Aaron Rodgers has changed as far as just being more for his teammates. You know, before I used to look at him like a Jay Cutler, a diva. This year I seen him wiping his teammates' faces, you know, after a play was over, and just being more calm and just more showing the world that, look, I meditated this year. I got rid of, you know, some of the distractions in my life, just being a more calm and cool and collected person. And I think that's what transpired on the football field as well.
Definitely. And our next award here, Leo, final one, I believe. Definitely. And our next award here, Leo, final one, I believe, is?
Yes, sir. This is an award that we came up with, everybody, because we all know that MVP is a quarterback given award. Let's just call it what it is. If it looks like a spade, damn it, it's a daggone spade. So we wanted to give credit to all the players, no matter what position you are other than quarterback, that, look, we remember you here on the show. Maybe the media don't, but we remember all the hard work that you put in this year. So we want to make an award dedicated to you. This is our non-quarterback most valuable player. So by that title, there's no quarterbacks that are going to be nominated here because it's non-quarterback. So our nominees that we have here on this award is Derrick Henry, Stephon Diggs, Aaron Donald, and we also have Travis Kelce.
And
Those
Devontae
are our
Adams.
nominees, and Devontae Adams as well. Can you see? Talk to me.
Lil, I took Henry for Offensive Player of the Year, so I'm not going to go there with him. Also wanted to give the nod to Aaron Donald for making it on multiple of our lists here with Defensive Player of the Year and the non-quarterback MVP. But bias aside, just from seeing how this man's season transpired and what he did to opposing cornerbacks, I'm going to have to go with my guy, Tay Adams. In the 14 games that he played, because he missed 2 or 3, I think it was 2 with injury, guy balled out, 18 touchdowns, 1,374 yards. He's probably got the best release off the snap, best footwork I've seen in a long time. And you could say best in the league next to maybe Tyreek Hill. Just his release off the snap, he's going to do big things. He can make the cornerback look silly, and he's not afraid to go with the number one. He said before that Rams game in the divisional, like, Ramsey, bring it on. Like, I want you to follow me around the field. That's just the type of competitor that he is, the Lions heart that he has. And Tay Adams showed up to me, and in a big way. Him and Rodgers look like arguably the best tandem in the league this year with the production that they put up. And that's why I'm going to have to go with Tay Adams.
I'm going to have to go with another wide receiver that's nominated on this list. I got to go with Stephon Diggs. To be honest with you, man, the reason why I'm going with Stephon Diggs here is because you think about that Bills team and where they were last year, right? Losing in that wild card match against the Texans. Who would have thought the Bills would have had the year that they had this year? Now, I know it didn't end in a perfect fashion, but by making that move for Stephon Diggs, that was the move of the offseason. That completely changed the course of this franchise because it gave my guy, Josh Allen, a safety blanket to know that you have a guy that he's going to be there. He's a great route runner. He's speedy, short routes, deep routes. It elevated Josh Allen's performance this year because this was a guy that had accuracy issues, a guy that we touched on his mechanics a little bit, like it needed work. And I think by acquiring Stephon Diggs, that shows you right there his value because he was able to elevate that whole team, that whole offense, leading the league in reception yards. And everybody knew he was going to get the ball, and he still couldn't stop him. Just that chemistry that developed between him and Josh Allen, just everything. Just that move alone, it made the Bills a contender this year and going forward because even though they lost to the Chiefs this year, I do believe the Bills are a team that you got to look out for within the next 2 or 3 years. They possibly may make a trip to the Super Bowl at some point.
Yeah, man, that move definitely for Diggs was definitely them saying, hey, like, we want to contend for a deep playoff run in a Super Bowl. I'd say that with the addition of how well their coaching staff was as a whole, as a cohesive unit, Dabble, McDermott, and Frazier, they did an outstanding job. Total team effort. Allen, like you said, stepped up huge. Another guy that silenced critics like Baker had an outstanding season as well. And that's a good pick. And what did our fans decide?
Well, our fans decided that we were both wrong, and they decided that Derrick Henry is the non-quarterback most valuable player from the Himalaya, my brother. It is Derrick Henry with 50% of the votes. Wow.
King Henry, man. I mean,
King Henry.
The guy rumbled. So the fans, I don't blame them for picking him. I mean, like you and I said, every player in these categories was more than worthy of the award. It's just a matter of preference and who you see is best fit for it. But
and there go our winners.
That's our first awards, first In The Huddle Awards ever, and we look to make this an annual thing, Leo.
So just one more recap of who won these awards. Comeback Player of the Year goes to Alex Smith. Offensive Rookie of the Year, goes to Justin Jefferson. Defensive Rookie of the Year goes to Chase Young. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Derrick Henry. Defensive Player of the Year goes to TJ Watt. Coach of the Year goes to my guy, Brian Flores. Most Valuable Player of the Year goes to Aaron Rodgers. Non-quarterback most valuable player from the Himalaya is King Henry Rumble in the Jungle.